I have no good way of getting it to you other than doing display capture. Which means you won't get audio, which sucks. Why is BlueStacks shitty? I guess we might just have to refresh it every now and then. No, it is doing the same broken thing. Great. BlueStacks is literally breaking Discord. And that is not even working. And the same thing happened. It's gotta be... Is it BlueStacks or is it Discord that's fucking breaking? Oh yeah, Worthy, I just realized that you shouldn't be here. Have a good morning, Worthy. Hold on, I have to figure out a way to get Mina the game and also the game audio. I'm back.
Welcome back.
I need to figure out a way to get you the game audio while I'm doing this. Hard for me to do while I have my closed captioning stuff going on. If I do... No, that won't work.
I'm okay with no sound, honestly.
I mean, that's better than, like, having to constantly restart OBS.
Yeah.
Let me just see if there is a way that I can do it. Because if I do OBS camera, that's just going to give you... Yeah, that's just going to give you the OBS capture, not the audio, which is a shame. So I will just do... Yeah, I'll just have to do this. Which sucks, but whatever.
That's fine. Don't need to shut, Mr. Justice. I can hear you just fine.
Actually, my instance of the talk sprite isn't working. Hold on. Ugh. I love technical difficulties. There we go. We're good. Everything's good.
Excess yelling couldn't damage the judge's ears into our case. But would it put my cords of steel? Anyway, what's so strange about fingerprints on a bottle in a restaurant? Well, that's true. Prints alone don't prove that he did.
Oh, they wouldn't prove a thing if they were normal fingerprints.
Huh?
But the fingerprints on the murder weapon were upside down.
Upside down? What does that mean?
It means he was holding the bottle inverted, and there can be only one reason for that. Phoenix do a murder. Yes. To brain someone with the bottle. To brain someone. That's a thing that Winston Payne just said.
That's a phrase. If you're braining someone.
That is somebody, but wouldn't expect Winston Payne to say it.
Mr. Gavin, I think things just took a turn for the worse. Oh, I see no problem, Justice. Huh? The only thing that matters is the truth. There's a good reason for everything, you'll see. Defendant, can you explain your fingerprints on this bottle to the court?
I stand by my plea of silence regarding the murder. For now.
Not very cooperative, are you? This could hurt your case.
I'm sure he's uncooperative because he's hiding something. There must be some reason.
Your Honor, you seem to have forgotten something. And what might that be, Mr. Gavin?
Wait a sec, are the defense and the prosecution in the opposite spots in courtroom based on the wide shot? Wait, what do you mean opposite spots? Like, oh yeah, because prosecution would normally be on the left and defense would be on the right in the wide shot?
Yeah, it's because the perspective that we're seeing it from when it shows the close-ups of both desks is from the defendant's perspective.
Hold
Or other way around, from the judge's perspective, rather.
No, is this? No, this would be from the defendant. This is from Apollo's perspective.
Yeah.
Right.
On the night of the crime, who was it that reported the murder to the police? Reported?
Well, it was the defendant, Mr. Wright, but still, yeah, we're looking at Winston from the judge's perspective, not
the defendants.
Not the defendants.
Really?
Yes. Well, according to the case file, the murder was reported from near the scene by a call from the defendant's cell phone.
Near the scene?
Did they just do like a camera pan over to Apollo?
Yep.
That felt really smooth and good. Let's take a look at a diagram of the murder scene, shall we? The victim was murdered in a small room in a basement 2 floors down from ground level. Of course, cell phones can't get reception so far down. The defendant used the stairs in this hallway to go above ground. The call came from the first floor of the restaurant.
I see. And this was the phone that made the call?
It's the same phone. Is it? It is.
Yep. The defendant could have just fled the scene of the crime if he so chose. Yet, he fulfilled his duty as a citizen and reported it to the authorities. And you claim he is being uncooperative?
Ugh.
I saved Mr. Gavin. I better not waste this.
It seems like Mr. Gavin is doing all the work here.
Yeah, Apollo's like the greenest of greenhorns. Like, he's really inexperienced.
Yeah.
I think the prosecution has toyed with our client enough for the time being.
Toyed? I assure you, no one is more serious about...
What was it that you said? The defendant was in the room the very moment that the crime occurred? How could you possibly know this? That's a good question. How indeed? The answer is simple, Your Honor. The prosecution has a decisive witness.
Ooh. You're as good as they say you are. Hello, Charles.
So someone else was in the room the night of the crime. That must mean they witnessed the crime.
That must mean they did the crime.
Everything up until now has been a warm-up, Justice. Are you ready? Very well. The prosecution may call its first witness to the stand. I hope you've got your bad Russian accent ready.
Oh, fuck. I don't know how to do a Russian accent.
Think of the heavy from Team Fortress 2.
I can't do that.
Do your best, I believe in you.
Charles, like, who the fuck is this pretty man? I think he's talking about Kristoff. I'm like, I don't know, man. He's just some guy so far.
he's Apollo's mentor. He's the new Mia.
The witness will state her name and profession.
Hold on just a moment. Where's the witness?
Hello? Judge? He's old, it's fine. I surmise that she's been frightened by the defense's demonic-looking horns. His spikes.
So use the little hair gel. Relax, people.
I like that his spikes emote with him.
Yeah, it's great. Have no fear. If any horns point in your direction, this court will cut them off.
Oh god, okay. How am I gonna fucking do this? How... Yeah, he's the new Mia, Charles. Hold on, I have to actually... I don't even know what a Russian sounds like. Because I'm blanking so hard. Is he gonna die? No. Probably not?
Question mark?
He could. And I don't know. Hold on, I'm gonna take a drink really quick. I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm not a voice actor, Mina. Did you not know this? You are sure?
I swear to my gavel. Please come out. Isn't violence against hair a crime, Your Honor?
Oh, like Wonder Yellow.
Yeah.
Well, if you are sure it is okay. She cute.
She's very cute.
She probably also did a murder.
Now the prosecution... Wait a minute. Would the prosecution care to explain the witness's paraphernalia?
Is she a tourist?
She's a photographer.
Where's Lana? That's not my photographer.
No, it'll explain it. She's not like an actual like professional photographer.
Okay. Yes. She's a professional, Your Honor. Those are merely the tools of her trade.
What would that be?
Olga Orly. Olga Orly.
It was 2007.
Oh, is it really meant to be like an oh really?
They explicitly call it out later.
It's like the fucking owl?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Was that supposed to be a pun right there? Who boy?
No, it wasn't meant to be a pun, actually.
Well, it was.
That's dated as fuck.
It sure is.
My name is Olga Orly. I am employed as waitress in Borscht Bowl Club restaurant.
Then, why the camera?
Oh, it's in a Russian restaurant?
Yep.
Of course, it is my pride to serve borscht at this naming restaurant. But I also perform, how it is said, other service.
I take it one of these other services is taking the customers' pictures?
Sure, bud. Da. Like, for example, this one. Fuck.
That's the defendant?
Indeed, on the night of the murder. Man in white hats is one who has gone kaput.
Shitty Smith said the thing like, and as you can see, Flareon is the only fire-type Pokemon who cannot learn Solar Beam.
Yeah, exactly.
Indeed, that is the victim. Order. This is quite a piece of evidence to casually drop into our laps.
It is same way as I drop cold bowls of borscht on laps of customers. Casually. Hold on, did Nick get accused of a crime again? Yes. Have you not seen Nick yet?
This is the first time.
This is the first time?
Aside from that one part in case 2 of the first game when Red White's like, actually I'm gonna pin this on you, and then it immediately falls apart.
Yeah, Edgeworth's the one who's been accused of multiple crimes at this point.
And Maya.
You can tell this is the future because their photos are in color now. Well, hold on. Don't speak too soon, because this one literally isn't.
The court will casually accept this new evidence.
Okay. Let me really quick just take a look at this. I mean, that Phoenix could have easily touched it upside down in this position.
Yeah.
Now, witness, where were you at the time of the murder? I was in room. The hideout, we call it.
Excuse me? The hideout?
Yeah, why is there snow in the restaurant?
Because it's Russian themed.
Is it real snow?
It's probably just prop snow.
It is room where famous gangster Bad Guy was arrested. It is room where murder took place. Bad Guy. Bad Guy.
You are a bad guy, but you are not bad guy.
It's Saul Bad Guy! He died! Your look of utter surprise. It is lovely. I will post my courtroom door later for you. Da. Photos will be numbered, and you will write which ones you want copy of.
3 people in the room at this time of the crime. The victim, Shady Smith, Mr. Wright, and Olga Orley, our witness.
Yeah, okay, are you piecing it together, Apollo?
And if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, that means...
She's wearing gloves, also. Which means that her fingerprints probably wouldn't be on the bottle.
She's gonna post it on Twitter.
She's gonna post it on Twitter? It's pronounced Badgie.
Very well, witness. You will testify to the court about the night's events.
Look, she's wearing gloves.
They're actually mittens, thank you very much.
I felt so much anger in my body just now. That night, customers asked me to deal cards for game. It was cold. Both players played with hats on, It's literally real snow. The victim, he plays whole time with his hand on locket at his neck. Then, last hand is done. But something terrible has happened. That man flew at victim and is strangling him to death. Cookie, no. Mina?
Sorry, I was just laughing at Cookie's comment.
Oh, okay.
This is going to cringe compilation. Incidentally, who won the game?
Isn't it obvious? The winner was the victim, Mr. Smith.
That's ridiculous. Because Mr. Wright can't lose. Ahem. Justice. Maybe you can come up with a more legitimate objection.
I agree.
But he hadn't lost in 7 years.
Take it from me, kid. It happens. I didn't lose a case my first 7 years as prosecutor either. Incidentally, I have some evidence here. Is Phoenix the first time he lost?
That was Mia. Mia blew his hair off.
Oh, yeah, it was Mia, right, yeah. These are the poker chips as they lay the very moment of the crime. The hand and chips on this side belong to the defendant, Mr. Wright. Those on the far side belong to the victim, Mr. Smith.
Chips, you say?
Yes. I imagine that poker is war. Your hand is your army, and chips are the spoils.
I know that. After all, in my youth, I was known as the poker head of courtroom number 3.
If you were in your youth, why would you be referred to by the number of the courtroom?
He's really old, okay? I think he means poker face. Looking at this picture, it does seem that most of the chips are on the victim's side of the table.
It does seem that way. It sure does seem that way, doesn't it?
Very well, the defense may cross-examine the witness.
Let me... Defendant and victim's chips when the crime took place. Yeah, that's a good fucking hand, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty darn good.
Yeah, and
But
also...
wait, isn't Phoenix technically better though? Because he's 3 of a kind and aces. Oh wait, he also
Shady
has 3
Smith
of a kind
also has
with
3 of a
kings.
kind with kings and aces.
Right, I thought one of them was a jack.
I'm kind of looking... I don't expect that it's gonna... expect me to look so closely at these cards. I think the most interesting thing is, like, where this deck is. Like, where's the red deck? Why are there cards already on the... Oh, no, this is taken... Right, this is like a crime scene photo, basically, right? This wasn't taken at the time of them playing poker. That would be weird.
The judge didn't technically admit to a crime because Like, just
No,
playing poker isn't a crime?
You can play poker. You just, if you're gambling, you're not allowed to do that. Like, if you have real money attributed to it, that's illegal.
Yeah, I think there has to be like a certain monetary value attached to it before it becomes illegal.
Yeah. And yet, pachinko is still legal.
Thanks, legal loopholes.
Yay! Okay.
But you know what it is already, right?
Do I? The victim, he plays whole time with his hand on locket at his neck. He doesn't have a locket at his neck.
That's not it yet, though. You gotta keep going.
Wait, but Phoenix has a locket. Wait, but hang on. Did Phoenix steal the locket? Wait, oh no, he's strangling him to death. Yeah, that's incorrect.
Oh, really? Strangled, you say? That's odd. I love his thinking pose. He's thinking so hard.
He's trying so hard to think. Duh, normal customers only choke on borscht.
No, I mean, this report shows that the victim died of a blow to the head.
Ah!
Miss Orley, really now? Did you witness the crime?
Oh my god, he really did say, oh really?
Just keep waiting. It gets worse.
Oh shit! She's good.
She's real good.
She's real good.
Looking at the picture, it doesn't seem like he was hit. He's still wearing his hat and everything.
Oh yeah, good point. Yet it is a fact that he was hit, Your Honor. Here's a photo we took with the victim with his hat off during our investigation. How strange.
Oh, that's quite shocking, isn't it? His head certainly was hit.
It certainly was. But I have seen it happen. The defendant, he lunged at victim, his neck...
There we go.
Shut up!
Oh, really, Miss Orley? I think I've caught you in your own little lie this time. Justice. I admire your enthusiasm, but perhaps you should think this through once more. What do you mean? I found a contradiction.
So whiny.
There's one thing in her testimony that troubles me.
Yeah.
Very well.
Yeah, I agree, Christophe.
It seems we should continue the cross-examination. There's such a thing as thinking too much. This horse is dead. Let's stop beating it.
Okay.
Is there such a thing as thinking aloud too much, too?
Was he just muttering to himself there?
Apollo's so loud that even his thoughts are loud.
Okay. So this, and then this is probably a better example of him not having a locket.
Yeah.
Have a good work, Violet.
Have a good work. Thanks for stopping by.
What a weird thing that we just said. Have a good work.
I mean, no work is good, but have the most enjoyable work you can have.
Yes. Okay.
You know, there was one curious part in testimony, just like Mr. Gavin said. But what does it mean? Mr. Justice, would you care to explain what it is you're thinking so intently about?
He objected and then said nothing.
Recall the testimony, Your Honor. The victim played with his hand on his locket at his neck, I believe she said.
I hope you aren't about to raise an objection to the witness's grammar.
No, but look at this photograph.
God damn it.
Do you see a locket at the victim's neck? Well done, Justice. I'm impressed. I knew you'd be able to handle these.
Hold on. We don't have profiles. Oh, wait, no, we do. Oh, I should have looked at these before. He looks so shady. Okay.
But what does it mean? If we are to believe this witness's testimony as is, then the locket disappeared following the victim's death. Lockets don't just disappear, Your Honor. It's quite simple when you think about it. If the locket's gone, someone must have taken it off, no?
Oh my god, did Phoenix win the locket? And he was taking it off of him?
Taking it off? Wait, you don't mean... The defendant wasn't strangling the victim at all. He was taking off his locket. Wouldn't that explain it?
That does explain it.
Defendant, what do you have to say to this?
He's literally wearing it!
Say,
Yes.
I just noticed this, but... You have something hanging around your neck, don't you?
Oh, you mean this? Yes, it's a locket with a photograph inside. A photo of my daughter.
Dilf.
Dilf.
Come again? Mr. Wright, you have a daughter?
We confirmed it at the time of the arrest. The picture in the locket is indeed Mr. Wright's daughter.
So Mr. Wright has a locket too?
Who is the mom, then?
Why don't I buy that this is just a coincidence? Well now, if the result of this poker game led to the murder, perhaps we should hear a bit more about the outcome of the game?
Further testimony won't really be necessary. It's clear the defendant lost badly. Ooh.
Miss Orley, you will testify to the court about the gameplay between the victim and the defendant.
Phoenix fucked. Who the fuck would the mother be? The only person that he has seemingly any romantic connection to is Iris. But she went to jail for being an accomplice to murder. The game began with 3,500 point-in chips for each man. House chips come in two sizes, small and large. The one who was winning died was victim. For last hand, defendant plays with all chips on table and lose. The moment loss was decided, defendant grabs bottle from table and you're... No. No, you didn't see that.
Indeed, looking at this picture, it does seem to be a one-sided game.
Is adoption a big thing in Japan? No, I don't think adoption would be a big thing in Japan, would it? I don't imagine so. Considering birtherism is huge in Japan, right? I imagine... Then again, I don't want to just say things. But like, I imagine the culture there would more lean towards having your own children than adopting because of birtherism. Shinzo Abe at it again, you know?
He hasn't been prime minister for almost 2 years now, but his spirit still looms large.
His spirit still lingers. As the court knows, poker was the defendant's life. Failure must have been a bitter pill to swallow.
How many times have I heard those words? I'd done it in a fit of anger, Your Honor, and now I regret what I done. A common tale, but true.
Why'd you make him sound like a pirate?
Because he remembers everyone as a pirate.
He did a yer.
Methinks the judge watches too many old court movies. Mr. Wright says he hasn't lost in 7 years, so this testimony must be wrong.
I mean, Wright can lose. It's possible.
He has faith.
Believe it. Believe in your client. Okay. This is true. The one who was winning, it was victim. For last hand, defendant play with all chips on table and lose. I mean, it must be pointed out that she has now changed what she said before.
Which was what?
She has changed her testimony to say that Phoenix went and grabbed the bottle instead of going to strangle him. So this is a contradiction from her previous testimony, but is that enough to be like, hey, yo, what the fuck?
If you have any decisive evidence, you can always press everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I have any decisive evidence at this specific moment. But I feel like what Apollo was saying might be a slight bit of guidance to what I should press.
You're telling me that Mr. Wright, undefeated for 7 whole years, was losing?
Da! It must have been most unlucky day for him. I am glad I did not take another picture of him. It would break camera, certainly. The chips, they always went to victim's side of table. I don't recall what podcast I heard on Freakonomics, I think, but Zionism is a big thing in Japan that company owners will bring an external person into their family so they can have an heir apparent if they don't have a son themselves. Whoa, that's weird.
It's all about legacy.
Guess that makes sense, though. But I mean, is that nepotism? That seems like nepotism. But I guess there's an actual word for it. It's Zionism, I guess. So you're telling us it was a one-sided game? Duh, one-sided, and... Okay. Oh, that didn't get me anything, huh?
You can keep pressing, I guess.
Yeah.
Last hand?
It was largest points of any hand. The defendant's hand, it was excellent. He tried to use it to take victory from behind.
It appears that both the defendant and the victim's hands are in this picture.
Yeah, they were both very good.
That is truly an excellent hand. Oh, however, so is the victim's.
One with highest number wins, so defendant loses. The victim, Mr. Smith, had a stronger hand than the defendant and crushed him. I believe that explains what occurred next. Once cards laid down on table, it happened. Yeah, so this is like the thing I found most suspicious.
And what happened next?
Even to think of it now, I shake and tremble, I did not believe such thing would happen.
What such thing?
Please, you must believe I had no idea. How could such thing occur?
What such thing?
Why is she not saying what happened? Yet, wait, is she freaking out? Oh, okay. The defendant had been hitting the victim. I saw it all happen right before me. I saw a bottle coming down on victim's head. Decisive, isn't it, Your Honor? My witness saw the very moment of the crime. This is suspicious. Hold on, I'm gonna do this really quick. No.
Remember, your first goal is to gather information.
Oh wait, this
yes,
is...
sir.
Why was that not added to the testimony?
Did you press the first two?
No, I didn't.
I might be one of those press everything ones.
Yeah, I guess so.
Are those the usual starting points? Were any special rules used?
No, not special. Usual game, usual rules.
If each man making only 3,500 points, and the total would be...
7,000.
Exactly 7,000 points. Please, this isn't calculus, it's not even long division.
Says nothing.
He's too polite. Are the chips in this photo all the chips that were used?
Of course. That's weird.
Something's fishy with these chips. Should I press harder?
Yeah?
Maybe you could explain a bit about these chips?
Explain? What is there to be explained? Poker chips are poker chips. They're not fish and chips. No. Wait. The smaller chips are worth more, aren't they? Phoenix was winning. The assumption here would be that the bigger... Yes, no, yes, yeah. Oh, got it. I'm so fucking smart. I'm the smartest!
Thanks. Another pressure. I better ask something. What are these chips worth? Are they in dollars or rubles even?
Yet, as I have been saying before, it was game, not gambling. Hard perhaps for a capitalist to understand. I like her. She's good. She definitely did do a murder, but she's good. 2 types of chip. 100 points chip and 1000 points chip. It is not money, da.
Just these.
She was being very careful not to describe which one is which.
Sir, don't you find her comment interesting? In more ways than one, sir. I'd have it added to her testimony myself. Well, does the defense want the witness to add her to her testimony?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, I do think this deserves further scrutiny. Add to the testimony. Yeah, I wish I knew where I was going with this. Very well. Witness, if you would be so kind.
Da, Your Honor. Okay.
Mr. Gavins, this testimony is important. To be honest, I have no idea why. Mr. Justice, do the court a favor and think of what you want to say before raising your hand.
I was literally just thinking that.
We're not in kindergarten. Sorry, I'm fine. I better think of something to ask. And quick. The 2 types of chips.
Da?
The small ones are 100 and the big ones are 1000, right? Right, of course.
Apollo! Don't waste our time. What if they weren't, though, Apollo?
Oh, you should present that picture.
Yeah.
Is that all? Yeah. Great, Mr. Gavin, we stop here, and I'm the one who looks dumb. Oh, Justice. Please try not to embarrass me as like that. Huh? Who, me?
Yeah.
There's a clear contradiction in the information you have in your hands.
Also, I like how Apollo just, like, handed her, like, out. Yeah, just, like, gave it to her.
All wrapped up.
Fuck.
What? It's a simple matter of calculation. Go on, try it. You're not in kindergarten, after all. Calculation?
Yeah, so...
So go back.
Should I do that?
Either one, I guess. You sure it was the victim who won? Absolutely sure.
Oh. It seems our new attorney is a bit confused. A glance at the picture is enough to tell you who won. If you're not in kindergarten...
Just for safety's sake, could you explain the problem to the court? Of course, Your Honor. In this photo, I see small chips and I see large chips. Tell me, which are worth 1,000 points?
Why, the big ones, of course. Duh.
Oh, I thought so too. But then the totals don't add up.
The totals?
Let's review what the witness told us.
Oh, wait, hold... This is very smart, actually. It's a very smart way that he has come to this conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's, like...
They need to add up to 7,000.
There's 10 black chips.
Yeah.
And 6 red ones. So if the black chips were... Wait. No, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, the black chips were 1,000. There'd be 10,000 chips. 10,000 points, rather.
10,600 in total, yeah.
Yeah. That's not how I came to the conclusion, honestly. I was just like, oh, no, yeah, obviously the red ones are worth more.
Each man started with 3,500 points in chips. And the combined total value of the chips was 7,000 points. Yes. If my calculations are correct. Let's see, 3 plus 1, carry the 5. They are, Your Honor. Now, look at this photo that allegedly shows all the chips. If the big chips are worth 1,000 points and the small chips are worth 100, and you add them up...
How much is it?
Wait, yourself, you aren't in kindergarten, are you? 10,600 points. The chips don't add up. This clearly contradicts the witness's testimony.
But why? How could this be?
Exactly, Justice. Now that you know the what, you must determine the why. Right. There's only one way to possibly explain this contradiction.
Chip count was wrong?
No, both were right.
Both were right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Each man began the game with 3,500 points. If all the chips are indeed shown in this photograph, then there can only be one answer. Well, what is it? The value of the chips was the other way around.
What?
Want to know what I think? The small chips were worth 1,000 points, not the big ones.
Madness! Utter madness!
Show me the photograph of the chips again. There are 6 small chips and 10 large chips. Why, that does make 7,000 points when you add them up.
I want chips now.
Excellent work, Justice. It's almost as though you figured it out by yourself. Well, I'm just glad I was the one who said it.
But wait! The value of the chips may be different, but that changes nothing. No, it does, actually. It absolutely does.
Indeed, the victim did still have a larger number of chips still. Exactly. If the small chips are 1,000 points and the large chips are 100, let's do a little math. Add up the points for each side of the table.
Just imagine him, like, howling like a wolf. Why did that go by automatically? That's really annoying.
Yeah. Well, now. It seems that Mr. Wright was winning that night after all.
That's impossible!
My client had even less reason to kill the victim. After all, he was winning.
Fuck yeah!
Now, Miss Orley. You must have known the true value of the chips. Since you were there at the scene of the crime. Weren't you?
Why would she lie? What motive could she possibly have? Ah! Yeah! She do it again. What's the food in there? Is it actually borscht in there?
I think it's a lobster.
I think it does look like a lobster, doesn't it?
I think it's like a lobster bisque. It appears the defendant has lost his motive. And Mr. Wright's supposed defeat never happened.
Our defendant has lost his mojo.
We must now ask ourselves whether we can trust the witness's testimony yet.
Hello.
Excuse me, what is it, Miss Orley?
I did not want to be saying this, but... Actually, you see, See what, Miss Orley? What do you see? In the last hand, there was cheat. Huh?
There was cheat.
There was cheat. Cheat? You don't mean a trick?
Wait, or do you mean a scam?
A bamboozle?
They're all the same thing.
Yes, there was cheat in last hand. That's why game ends with chips as they are. But
Great. Just great.
But if Phoenix was cheating, then he would still not have a motive to kill this man. Because he still would have won, even if it was through underhanded tactics. That doesn't change anything. In fact, that would give Shady reason to kill Phoenix.
First we have lying, now we have cheating.
Lie, cheat, and steal.
But as this case certainly has taken a turn. Was the interesting?
Shut up.
Witness, you will please testify to the court. Tell us about this cheating in the final hand.
Are there recesses and stuff in this version?
Yeah, there's one recess.
The cases are broken up into parts, aren't they?
Yeah.
Right.